Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Space Weather. I be your host Dan. This one is a special YouTube exclusive, and this one won't be appearing on BitChute or on Twitch, so this one's YouTube only. And we've got our chat window open, so leave us a comment. If you're viewing live, you may affect the coverage. We're actually looking at the sun here in 94 angstroms. We see some active region rising there in the northeast behind some coronal holes. And we'll see if I can draw. I've got about 97 windows and tabs open right now. A little bit of activity following those coronal holes. As well as some active region setting there. No sunspots. Currently at 0 sunspots. There's the southern hemisphere. And before we move on, let me just check the quality. And I think we are good. Excellent. Notice I've got the blue rage flames behind me today. We'll get into it in a moment. Here are the fields. I think. There we go. And there you can see the only organized areas here are down here in the south. You can see those bright regions underneath my pointer. Here's 304 angstroms. And we've made one custom movie for you today, that active rising region. Could be a sunspot, could be not. We'll have to leave you in suspense. The 10.7 centimeter radio flux, another measure of solar activity. Still at 70 solar flux units. There's the graph of the most recent cycle. And there's the graph of sunspot number. KP index is at 2. Having reached a peak of 3 there just before the change of the date, the last 3 hours of the day. GOES X-ray flux has been ramping down here. Again, no sunspots facing Earth. No proton events really happening. Real-time solar wind is looking about like that. It looks like we just got hit with a small kind of like coronal hole wind stream here. It looks like it's already ramping down. It looks very small, weak, and fleeting. Phi angle around 300 degrees. The BTBZ's been shifty for the past 24. That's the top pane with the black and red lines. Current solar wind density just under 4 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed 376 kilometers per second. Don't report on data without the units, folks. Next, looking at the Geospace Magnetosphere movie, and we can see pretty small Van Allen belts here that are rather uniform. You can see the plasma spheres are quite small, and we're kind of having a little electron shortage once again here. Van Allen belts are pretty devoid of electrons right now. Anyway, there's 4 hours of data about the magnetosphere. Here's just the ground magnetic perturbation scenario. Basically looking at magnetic perturbations at the level of the lithosphere, give or take. And after this, I'll bring up the chat. Just give me a quick moment here, as again, I've got 18 windows and tabs open. All right, so welcome Mary and Nabo J. Thanks for leaving comments. Was I feeling badly? Here's the GOES magnetometer. And you can see this is continuing to be kind of all over the place. And it's because of a disparity in the amount of plasma between the sun and us. So here's a great view of that. It's the Gong 2 top view ecliptic plane field plot. Pretty good data here. It's only an hour and 36 minutes old. And you can see all these different regions of different amounts of plasma in between the, I'll say, the chromosphere and planet Earth. And you can see a bunch of different sort of plasma structures there in the corona. So we'll continue to see these spiky readings on the GOES magnetometer over the next at least 36 hours. And I'd anticipate we would stay in the North Pole current sheet. Perhaps that active region is a sunspot, in which case the propensity to be back in the South Pole current sheet rises. So here you can see a good view of the poloidal fields. Here's the south one shown in red, the north one shown in green. And the B field shown here in blue, and you can see that bump in the B field sort of on the far side of the sun approaching stereo A, associated with that rising activity. Again, keep in mind the data is 1 hour and 36 minutes old. Now today we're not really going to do a cosmology segment. However, we will do a smAshlight segment. It'll all be in this same video. We will link the videos to our playlists. Follow us on Twitter if you haven't. We're always putting up new tweets and stuff over there, as we've got some exclusive content on all sites. Thanks to our patrons, the true source of funding for the content. And again, thanks for leaving comments, everybody. Members of the smAsh team, thanks for sharing on social media and so on. Credit crawl coming soon for patrons. I believe there's only one person who wants something besides their listed name. Atmanhotep, don't worry, we won't divulge your identity. We're also on Subscribestar. Visit other links below the video to support the channel in various ways. Again, we usually do stream these live to Twitch, but today, because it's so late, we're actually streaming while it's light out for once. This one will be a YouTube exclusive, and we've moved on to the smAshlight section. So this one's got some interesting material in it. And again, thanks everybody for leaving comments and so on. Just bear with me one moment. If you haven't pressed like and subscribe on YouTube, please do so. Now we've put up a political post here on smashamash.com/forum. It's in the free-for-all forum about Obama's coattails and Biden-Harris 2020. We'll talk about that in a moment. Notice how Biden would shut down country again, if recommended by scientists. I'm not going to get into it. Again, if you enjoy the content, press like and subscribe on YouTube. Now this is part of the Biden-Warren campaign 2020, right? As Bernie has now done stump speeches for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Sorry, didn't mean to mispronounce the name. Please don't throw me in jail for something trivial. Kamala. Oh wait, she's just a senator. Okay. Anyway, AOC is all wrapped up in this, and please leave a comment if you enjoy the antics of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We're going to talk about CNBC markets in a moment. I just wanted to peruse the headlines here as we see the stock market kind of recovering. And don't be surprised to see it crash again, as this is a completely engineered pile of you-know-what. And I called this months ago because of the way the commodities market and the stock market crash at the same time. And, of course, the bond market crashed at the same time, making it super obvious that there is institutional money involved. So, in any case, CNBC is a fairly good source of news because they can't lie about the economic stats, right? So we've put up this post at smashamash.com/forum. It's Biden-Harris 2020. And we've got some new material there now. If you haven't checked out smashamash.com/forum, check it out. There's a new campaign ad that I've created. Vote covidiocy and blatant corruption by voting Biden-Harris in 2020. It's a great time. Let's bring up the chat. Hey everybody, if you're viewing live, leave us a chat. Let us know what you think of our new campaign poster and what you think of covidiocy and blatant corruption. And yeah, it's a thing. We've also got forums on cosmology, Earth and geophysics, general science, the sun. We've given the sun a specific forum, even though the sun is part of cosmology. A badly understood part by mainstream science, I might add. Thanks to our new users, and everybody can view this for free right now. There are no paywalls. but you would need to set up a login in order to leave comments or create topics or do anything like that. So help us Mansa and make America not suck again by purchasing the Mansa t-shirt, perhaps. It's got a link to the website on there. The URL, it's smAsho.org. There are links to all this stuff there. Let's talk about Boston Terriers and, oh my God, Rose McGowan. She's been squaring off against her liberal pals, vacuous liberal elites like Charmed co-star Alyssa Milano. And I don't know if it's a Me Too moment or what's going on, but oh right, because she was raped by top Democratic donor Harvey Weinstein. Right. Forgot about that. So yeah, Rose is a little bit outraged that certain politicians don't really accomplish anything and are utterly, utterly corrupt. You know, things like overturning Libya and creating an actual slave market in northern Africa, things like that. In any case, even making policy based on people's skin color is racist and ridiculous. Please let me know if anybody believes in this nonsense. They are the season, the season of darkness. The covidiocy and blatant corruption ticket, Biden-Harris 2020. And our regular viewers are aware that I'm quite skeptical and critical of all politicians, and the more money they make, the more skeptical I am. Are you making nearly 6 figures or over 6 figures to go around measuring people's grass? Now, I know Rose McGowan, because I think I follow her on Instagram. She's very interested in Boston Terriers, I guess. I thought I had an image. There it is. Yeah, Boston Terriers. I don't know if it's a rescue thing. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, it looks like Alyssa Milano and Rose McGowan, who used to be pals, have allowed predatory politics to invade their lives. Check it out. So I went to CBS News, and I wanted to post a screenshot of this, but it wouldn't screenshot correctly. You go to CBS News, and the first thing you see is an unskippable, inoperable Pfizer advertisement right on their homepage. I just figured I'd show you that because I think it's cute. What do you think? And now we've moved into the, oh my God, it's so scary that it's prompted me to purchase a pulse oximeter. I've also got this UV light. By the way, if you purchase one of these UV wands, don't look into it. And while I could make you, I'm just going to leave you there, okay? Because I'm not any more scared or spooked than I was on January 23rd, no matter how much the media and other people who know nothing about science want to convince me. But I'm so scared that I've purchased a pulse oximeter. Oh my God, my blood oxygen's it's 98, folks. My brain functions even better than Windows 98. I'm just going to leave you there, COVID. You just enjoy yourself. Now, I just decided to just do a DuckDuckGo search here for COVID propaganda. The first thing I got is spectator.us. Let's see what this is all about. It's a terrifying weapon of political propaganda. It sounds like something I would say. Perhaps vet this website. I don't know anything about it. Spectator USA. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Now, many of our regular viewers have certainly seen this video. Safety Mask by Media Bear. It's my current favorite. And it needs to be nominated for the best music video of the year. It's in the style of Weird Al Yankovic, as they're taking popular songs and putting lyrics over the top. And the lyrics aren't over the top, they're just rational. So, oh, good, glad to hear you're feeling better. Cheers. And thanks everybody for leaving comments. Hopefully all of I think everybody's east of the Mississippi, aren't you? All right. Anyway, if you haven't seen this video, it's called Safety Mask by Media Bear. Media Bear's only got 19,000 subs, and they should have 19 million subs by now by making content like this. Check it out. It's absolutely hilarious. It's top-notch. And they've got another video that just recently came out. Now, we featured some of these folks on our thumbnail a couple days ago. Here's the latest one. We will mock you. Now, let me make sure that everything's live before. Actually, you know what? I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Oh, thank you. It's becoming very agreeable these days. So check out this. Yeah. I'm going to vanish. Now, I've gone to a different plane of existence, folks, but don't worry. It seems the stream is still good to go. Here's a clip from We Will Mock You by Media Bear. Kids all day, you got cloth on your face, sheltered in place. It's just amazing. So we shared this yesterday, and our regular viewers may have seen it. If you haven't seen Media Bear yet, wow. Talk about fantastic. And I think I just showed you a video that's not from Media Bear. I don't know how I accomplished that. But definitely go and give them a like and a subscribe over there at YouTube, as they are top-notch. And there are other videos too, one based on Sunglasses at Night, the Corey Hart song. I'm with Mask, I See Mask People. This one's based on I always feel like somebody's trying to make me wear a mask. Let's talk about quotes from Eric Schmidt. Yesterday I did Mark Zuckerberg quotes. Today I'm going to do Eric Schmidt quotes. So sit back and entertain yourself as I return from an alternate plane of existence to read you some Eric Schmidt quotes. We know where you are. We know where you've been. We can more or less know what you're thinking about. How about we run this company on questions, not answers? The internet is the first thing that humanity has built that humanity doesn't understand. The largest experiment in anarchy that we have ever had. Another Eric Schmidt quote. How about the computing world is very good at things that we are not. It's very good at memory. I wonder if you remember saying these things. We weren't here to hope and hang on. We wanted to win. And when I say win, I mean the 2016 election, which is why Alphabet donated about $34 million to the Hillary Clinton campaign. I actually think most people want Google to answer their questions. Every young person one day will be entitled automatically to change his or her name on reaching adulthood in order to disown youthful hijinks stored in their friends' social media sites. What? Great idea, Eric. Eric Schmidt, the creepiest man in tech. Those are today's NPC quotes. Did you know that Democrats are walking a fine line on the election's main foreign policy issue? China. Now, have you learned how to say China? Because, let me bring the chat back up as we've got more chats here. Again, thanks for leaving comments, everybody. If you don't view live and you view Memorex, leave us comments anyway. We read all of them, by the way. Democrats are walking a fine line on the election's main foreign policy issue. Okay? And that main issue is China. If you haven't learned how to say China, just say, hey, say China at the top of your face. The way I say China, it's the way Trump says China. You gotta say China. It's spelled C-H-I-D-A. Main foreign policy issue. Now, if you want to read about coronavirus, we started covering it on January 23rd. And then we stopped covering it on, at least we stopped doing daily updates by July 15th because it's irrelevant. It's not novel. And it's no more novel than any other relatively non-dangerous virus, similar to like West Nile or the common cold or the flu or all of these other sort of things that are of no danger to healthy people or very, very limited danger to healthy people. Let's show you a tidbit here. Here's a post about a drunken idiot from March 18th who coughed on a cop now in New Jersey. Somebody was stopped for an alcohol test, Lee Piazza, and she was involved in a single car accident. By the way, it's a felony to leave an injury accident. If you do a hit and run, it becomes a felony instantly if somebody got injured. So she appeared intoxicated, and then she allegedly coughed on the officer and then said that she has coronavirus, and now you do too. We've also got an insanity file for them. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you may not know about the 103-year-old woman who chugged a beer. Now, the I survived a global pandemic so far shirt may not be appropriate for her. But after she beat the you-know-what out of coronavirus, she decided to chug a Bud Light in her hospital bed. They'll let you do anything when you're over 100 years old. Now, if you want to live to 100 years old, perhaps you consider making recipes like the ones we make. Last night we made some homemade chicken nuggets. Now we just took chicken breast, and almond flour was one of the ingredients. So that's part of the reason why we have almond flour on the affiliate page now. It's smAshomash.com/affiliate, and we will be releasing the recipe to that at a later time. It was extra spicy, and we use almond flour in lieu of regular flour for many things. Leave us a comment if you made cookies with almond flour or any or other sort of pastries or anything like that. I'm sure it makes them ultra rich. Let us know what you think. Let's talk about money. Now, money is the thing that needs to be fungible. It needs to be stable enough to be a medium of exchange, and it should have intrinsic value. Otherwise, it's probably just currency. Understand the difference? Paper money isn't money. Gold and silver are money, as they have useful functions outside the fact that they're traded as commodities. They're real money, unlike currency, which is worth who knows what. Ask Zimbabweans how much currency is worth. They'll have a better insight than most Europeans, I'd imagine, except for the ones who aren't economic illiterates. So currency is your fiat paper money, which could be worth who knows how much, since it's difficult to know how much is in the supply. Let's talk about some other things that aren't money. Bitcoin. Now it's at some very high levels here. There's the 1-year chart of Bitcoin. Let me just check the live stream here and make sure that we are good. There's the 1-year Bitcoin. We'll also look at Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency. And we're looking at them both on the same exchange here, as there can be issues with the volume numbers on exchanges. We're using the Coinbase exchange because that's where I actually have an account, which I may close at any time because I think it sucks. But in any case, I have a small token investment, and I don't think I even have any Ethereum. I sold it off when it was on this recent uptick. But in any case, there's the 1-year chart of Ethereum, looking very similar to Bitcoin there. And let's look at 2 other commodities here. We're going to also look at gold and silver, and we're going to ignore the stock market. So here's gold, and you can see the 1-year chart. It's off its highs, so actually it's looking a little proportional to crypto here, which is probably a good natural market sign, I would say. And if you would please return me to the page I was on, CNBC, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's try again. Okay, why press a button once when you can press it thrice? So what do you all say about, let's see. All right, Mr. Keebler, I did not read your comment, so it's going to be unfortunate here as I won't know what you've said. Nay's a mass protest of 1. I want to get a Maskini. What say you? Lockdown again. So yeah, interesting predictions there about what may happen. There's a silver chart looking similar to gold and crypto. I'm not going to talk about any more market stuff, as that page is being a pain. Have you seen these 4 miscreants? Yes. Felons, armed robbers who've been knocking over pharmacies for Percocet, OxyContin, and something I don't know anything about. I don't know about prescription drugs, folks. I just don't care. Up to $25,000 reward asked for by the FBI, seeking the pharmaceutical robbery suspects. Not sure if it's 4 of them. What a great photo this is of the right. Can you identify that person? Can you even identify the gender? Were you aware that I'm Sherbet gender? Were you aware that we have merch? Perhaps consider becoming part of the Smash team, or ordering a shirt that tells the truth about search engines. Perhaps order the Mansa shirt. Or the Smasher Price My First Pandemic shirt. We got a variety of colors. Go hunting in the blaze orange version. Perhaps pick up a hazmat suit. You can link conveniently to this and other products right at smashomash.com/affiliate. There are some examples. There's the blaze orange shirt. There's the search engine based shirt. Here are the geniuses who are robbing pharmacies. And I apologize for the test pattern. Yes, it happens. By the way, once again, thanks to our patrons. And here ends another smAshlight. Let's get back to space things. Space-based things. Again, press like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And shout out to YouTube for remonetizing our videos, as the most recent demonetizations have all been remonetized. It's a shame that it happens in the first place. Let's talk about supplementing vitamin D. Viewer on BitChute, Biker Mailman says, if supplementing D, add vitamin K. I've seen explanation about it. Vitamin D can leach calcium from your bones. Now, I was aware of this, folks, and that's why we've got a supplement which contains calcium plus D, calcium plus zinc, plus magnesium, and just vitamin D, because people's calcium levels vary majorly. And you don't want to have 200% of your calcium and 500% of your vitamin D every day. That's not a good thing either. Thanks to our new subscribers over on BitChute. Please subscribe over there if you haven't, as there's exclusive material everywhere. And if you've got a news tip for us, check us out at the smAsho VoIP line. Drop us a line. Send us a text at country code 1 area code 610-936-9799. Don't forget to visit smashomash.com/forum. If you agree with the mission, please donate. Or perhaps consider becoming a patron, etc. Visit smashomash.org. There are all the social media links, as well as links to the merch and the Amazon affiliate stuff. If you need any of those products, please purchase them through our link. This will be the next shirt I'm wearing, and the one I'm currently wearing is Smasher Price, My First Pandemic. All right. And don't worry, see, test pattern gone, we are good. Next, looking at the graph of electron flux here, we see very low levels of electron flux, as we stated earlier in the video, and you can see it's been cratered, having seen some upticks in the solar wind density over the past day. And there we saw a little lower levels than forecasted of electron flux. And NASA and NOAA are forecasting an uptick. I'm not so sure that'll happen so quickly. Here's the total electron content forecast here. You're looking at the whole air column, all the way from the thermosphere down to ground level to give you GPS error estimations. It's useful if you're sailing around the equator at noon, for example. Here's just the ionosphere layer. This is 6 hours of data. And this one, if you want to look at this yourself, it's Australian Government Bureau of Meteorology. We've got it updated for 15 minutes per second. And the last 6 hours, you can do this all the way up to a week. Everything's looking pretty normal there in the ionosphere layer. There's the latest image. Here's where stuff is in the solar system. We like to keep our viewers apprised of this, as there are a lot of theoreticians that watch the content and are interested in all kinds of different interactions going on in the solar system. Here's where stuff is now. There's where stuff will be in 1 week, on August 30th. The deadline of doom, August 30th. Do you have some stuff like this hanging above your head? Would you like to just do that to it? Well, maybe purchase a UV wand. Check it out. I'll inoculate you. Everybody get up to the screen. There you go. Now everybody's safe. Don't look into the UV light directly. And now I'm safe too. Oh my God. Thank goodness we've eradicated the scary, spooky virus. Here's where stuff is over my head. I like to use in-the-sky.org. It's good times. I orient my star chart to the south. And the sun has just risen, being trailed by Mercury, the fastest planet. Let's check out the earthquakes of the past 24. Nothing over a 5 magnitude, but here's a deep one at Fiji. It's over 500 kilometers of depth. Here's one at the Mariana Islands. Nearly 160 kilometers depth there. Here's a very shallow quake in Mexico. It's 300 meters above sea level. There's a location of that one. Looks pretty flat where it is. Let us know if you think it's hot liquid magma. Here's another 4.4 in the Fiji region at over 540 kilometers depth. Deep quake at Chile, a 4.2 magnitude. Another very shallow quake, 600 meters above sea level near Ferndale, California. Yes, my face just turned to flames, folks. Blue Rager flames. And that's not Democrat blue. That's hot rage blue. White lithium. Deep quake strikes Afghanistan. Followed quickly afterwards, only about 12 minutes later, by a 4.2 at Indonesia. It's at 157 kilometers, and the Afghani one was 200. And here's one at New Zealand. Shout out to our New Zealand viewers. It's a deep quake. Please have an earthquake plan if you're located in an earthquake-prone zone, as we saw a ramp down of protons, so today would be an earthquake uptick possibility. These areas especially, I'll draw it in. Cascadia, Oceania, and the Far East. That's where I would try to be an asset, not a liability, in the event of a disaster. Know which building facades may fall. Have a bug-out bag, etc. Next, volcanoes, while we talk about disasters. Now, most people are out of the way of these things because they're known. Anyway, Abico's erupting. And it's producing a 13,000-foot ash plume. Suwanosejima, flight level 060 there, that's 6,000 feet. Mount Ibu exploding, 6,000-foot plume there. Cinnabung exploding. Excuse me. The deadliest volcano of the past couple of years. It's producing a 13,000-foot ash plume. Semeru, similar-sized plume of ash there as it explodes as well. Popocatépetl exploding, so it's a bit of a volcanic uptick here, folks. Sangay exploding, flight level 190 there. Sabancaya exploding, flight level 240 there, 24,000 feet. Please don't attempt to pole vault the caldera. We've got some weather stuff coming up here. First, power outages. There you can see some power outages in Texas and California, as California burns and burns. Here's a weather.gov map, and we can see some hurricane watches and so on around the Gulf Coast. Please be prepared for disasters there. Now, I want to show you a little tutorial here on tropical tidbits. If you head to tropicaltidbits.com, head to forecast models, click on forecast models, wait for the page to load, come down here, click on precip moisture, click on total accumulated precip. This will give you an idea of what's forecasted to happen. So we see these very concentrated regions. There's where we expect rainfall to be on Friday, August 28th. And you can see that path. It looks like it's going to go right up the middle of Louisiana there and into Arkansas. Have you seen cherry-picked data on the internet? Do you think the media is lying to you? Is that part of the reason why you watch the channel? Let's bring up our chat. And thanks everybody for leaving comments. Yes, many places are ahead of the U.S. in terms of freedom right now, including China and various places in Europe where there's stage racing going on. Have you noticed fraud when it comes to big tech misleading their shareholders and suppressing real information? Well, that's part of the reason why we need your help. So again, please visit the links below the video and support us, since YouTube tries its best to pay us nothing. Now, one of the bits of cherry-picked condescending nonsense that you'll see in the media is how Greenland's melting. Let's look how melted Greenland is. Let's drop a marker. Oh, there's more than 5 meters of snow there. Oh my God, look at this area here. There's 0 inches, but just south of it, we see more than 5 meters. What's up with that, folks? Look. Oh, there's only 155.4 inches there. And we're going to skip pressure maps today because I just like looking at the 5 meters of snow coast to coast on Greenland. I find it quite amusing. And hey, all right, you can stay. COVID and I are becoming pals. Next, looking at nullschool.net, here you can see the jet streams of the eastern world. Here are the jet streams of the western world. We got to get this stream ended. I don't know how long it is, but it's too long. Please leave a comment if that's what she said. And there you can see some extreme meridional jet stream flow. It's going to be a cold day in the central Pacific Ocean as Arctic air is being ejected all the way from Alaska, all the way down into the central Pacific. I mean right here. Water vapor maps will be right after lightning maps. Let's see where the lightning's striking here at lightningmaps.org. Or perhaps blitzortung.org if you prefer. I don't care. We've got some Charleston lightning. Charleston. There's thunder rolling in. Son of a beehive. Pretend you're Thor or perhaps Odin by forecasting thunder at lightningmaps.org. They tell each other. Thor and Odin do. Yeah. Again, thanks everybody for leaving comments. We greatly appreciate it. Here are the water vapor maps for Europe and Africa. Water vapor maps for the Far East and Oceania. Water vapor maps for the Americas. The land of the West. And you can see those two systems there. This one just over the island of Hispaniola. And this one here moving into the Gulf. There's some dry air mixing with that. It looks like it's going to slow it down and weaken the crap out of it. And we have some jet stream interaction here too, as we see some cold air being injected very far south. Possibly an indication that those forecasts of doom may be a little bit overstated. Here is the U.S. Doppler radar map. Here's what's going on in the cloud layer. And let's check out that area over the Gulf of Mexico. Again, there's a bunch of dry air in this whole area right here. And depending on, that could greatly affect the storm path. I won't get into that forecast. Here is the same scenario in water vapor with a slightly different zoom. Make that about 125%. There you go. So there's the current situation for that tropical system. And it looks like the moisture is winning the battle there. But there is still quite a bit of dry massive air in this whole region, and those are all weakening factors for a system like that. Let's take a look at the island of Hispaniola for once. We don't really usually look at water vapor over the Caribbean, but it's a Sunday free-for-all, so. And you can see amazing current streamers out in front of that. Not a lot of counterclockwise rotation going on there, if any. A slight bit. Again, it's surrounded by a bunch of dry massive air here. It could be Saharan dust. I won't get into it because there's too much stuff to talk about, even still, as we continue on. Ah, yes, the COVID. The COVID, it's... Oh, what's wrong? They must have gotten embarrassed. I didn't know the COVID was camera shy, but it turns out the COVID's camera shy. So, anyway, thanks, Smash Team. Please don't forget to share on your social media. Tell your friends and your foes, your science noobs and your science pros, to do things like visit smAsho.org and the links. And we'd like to thank everybody for flying American Smashways. Please keep your head and arms inside the Smash plane at all times, as we've got bonus features in the form of the 304 angstroms 48-hour SDO video, the intensitygram to show you 0 sunspots, and the magnetogram to show you a close-up of the only magnetically organized area. It's a plage. It was a sunspot, but not long enough to get named, and no umbre to be seen there. I won't zoom in on that as it'll look like a big orange screen. Here's a 304 angstroms view. We are out. Thanks for tuning into the live stream YouTube exclusive daily space weather. Remember, stare at the sun, use the proper instruments. Such as a welding mask would be a good choice. And we've got a frozen image. Thanks a lot, Junkware. What the hell? All right. There's a still image of the sun because reasons. Oh, there we go. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon with new content, possibly making a cosmology segment in the next day or two. Most likely making a couple more videos over the next day that may be unexpected.